Hi everyone, so today I'm gonna be doing a very quick tutorial, quick and dirty as I like to call it, on how to achieve the infamous yellow, orangey, teal look that is very popular nowadays on Instagram. This tutorial is going to be very quick, I hope, and it's only a step one towards achieving that look. I think this will be quite suitable for most people, especially if you plan on posting these photos on Instagram, given how much Instagram compresses the photo quality. However, if you want to go into a little bit more detail on how you can achieve this kind of a look, there's going to be another video linked right here below or in the annotation. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm not going to bore you too much with the photo selection and everything. I have the Lightroom already ready and set up, and for this purpose for the purpose of this video, I've chosen a very simple photo I took on my trip to Hong Kong. Now this photo, as you will notice, has been taken in not so ideal conditions, but I want to show you how this method works for photos in these kinds of conditions as well. Now this is a very simple half-frame DSLR Nikon D5100 photo, an old camera really. Conditions not perfect, very cloudy outside, white balance not perfect either, but quite a lot of detail here, but something that can be worked with. Now before we get started, I suggest every time two things to all the newcomers, but also people who have been working with photos for a while now. I have two advice. First and foremost, do not be afraid of experimenting. Do not be afraid to experiment. Do not be afraid of poking around, working with Lightroom. And the second very important thing is do not be afraid of cropping your photos. Now clearly this photo, the composition is not the best, the framing is not the best. However, there's a lot of stuff going on, so I think it can still be used, and I think it can still pop, as they like to say. I think it can be very good and can be used both for Instagram and other social networks, or your own portfolio, for instance. So before we begin working with the photo, I suggest going into the crop overlay and then using the inbuilt Lightroom setting for auto straightening of the photo. Now if you click here, you'll see that sometimes Lightroom kind of overdoes it, but if you want to be really pedantic, you can use the straightening tool and then just kind of draw a line here, and then the photo will straighten even more. After you're happy with the results, and I think we kind of are because the horizon seems to be straight, you click on done and you get the photo you want. However, we're not really done. What we want to do is we want to crop the photo a little bit, not to include so much of the sky, but in fact to pull the sky down, if you will, and allow the user to actually focus on the action in the photo. You can double click here for done instead of clicking done, but you can also click done, it doesn't matter. Now for the quick and dirty tip, right, so this is the first part of our experiment, done, right? We crop the photo, we straighten it, it's all looking good. Now what else do we want to do? We want to achieve that orange teal look. And how do we achieve an orange teal look? Well, it's very simple. You can play with a lot of basic treatments of the photo here, but if you want to get that look very quickly, what you want to do is you want to scroll all the way down and to camera calibration. Now this is almost a hidden aspect of Lightroom because most people never even reach this section, but if you want to get that look very quickly, what you can do is you can move the hue of the primary blue color all the way to the left, and then you can move the red primary hue all the way to the right, and boom, badam, there you go. You got your orange teal look without almost any work included. Now you will notice there's a significant difference here. So the boat was not orange, that's a fact, and these, what are these? I don't know, some kind of I guess a background of a board, those were not orange either. And then you will notice that other boats have become orange suddenly as well. Now of course the photo isn't done, you can play a lot more with it. Clearly what I would like to do here is maybe soften the shadows a little bit, perhaps even soften the blacks as well, increase the whites, so the photo gets that a little bit of a pop. Maybe you could also soften the blacks instead of hardening them, what I did earlier, and this way the photo is starting to look quite nice, I would say. You can increase the clarity clearly, you can play some more. If you increase the clarity too much, of course it looks like crap, so you want to avoid doing that. So you want to increase the clarity just a little bit. I usually suggest everyone to lower the vibrance by at least minus 15-ish, so minus 15. just so it takes out a little bit of that too much sort of extra pop. And then of course you might or you might not want to increase saturation just a little bit so it makes a little bit of sense. In the other tutorial video, which I'm going to link here in the annotations, I'm going to be going a little bit deeper, and that video is going to cover achieving a similar effect, a little bit more natural though, using the tone curve but also the HSL curves as well as the split toning method. So this video will be a link to this one, and it's going to be a next one in the series. But for now, if you want to post a very quick photo to Instagram, a photo where you don't want to do a lot of work, but you want to achieve a very nice result very quickly, you can always go this route, no problem whatsoever, and the photos are going to look amazing. Of course, remember my first advice, don't be afraid to experiment, don't be afraid to change the tint, play with it any way you want, and at the end of the day, get the result that's going to be, that's going to make you happy, it's going to make those likes pop. For the end of the video, I just wanted to show you the original photo comparison. So look at this, look at the difference we have here. So if you actually click here, you will notice how big of a difference we have made. Look at the difference of colors, look at the way it pops, look at the difference in the, let me just click here once again. Okay, keep clicking and click here. We zoom out. So just look at the differences in the quality of colors and the quality of lighting and everything, only by doing these couple of tricks. So there you have it, folks, a very quick, easy, dirty way of playing with your orange teal look in your photos. And of course you can use the treatment for any photo you want. I mean, essentially any photo you want. So don't be afraid to use it if you need those effects and those results very quickly. So yeah, without further ado, that's all for today. Make sure to leave a like down, subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. Of course, follow me on Instagram and other social media networks. And yeah, drop a comment if you have another method you would like me to explore, or another sort of a filter you would like to achieve in Lightroom. Yeah, thanks guys, and see you later. Cheers.